をつけて今夜も始まるよ猿たちの配信準備はいいかって世界に投げてコインの波間を一緒に泳ぐんだアピアピぶち上げるライブジャンプジャンプ月まで届けワンツースリーで勝って打って笑って振り回る夜に未来をつかめアピアピ止まらないバイブス森の天太で夢を回せグレミーフランキチースポットとクリプトの嵐を今巻き起こせ
Yo, how's it going, G-Spot?
Doing good, man. Hanging in there. How you doing?
Pretty good. I heard on the low key that you're a big Cher fan.
I can't confirm nor deny, but do you believe in love after love? Oh, I should have done the voice. I should have done the voice changer.
Do you got one? Try it real quick.
Hold on. Let me see. Do you believe now? No, that's bad. That's horrible.
Worth the shot. All right, let me do my spiel. All right, welcome to the 12th episode of the Whatever Show. Special thank you to the other side, Ape Chain and Other Games.xyz. If you'd like to be a guest on the Whatever Show at some time in the future, shoot a DM to me or G-Spot. We would love to see what people are building and set up interviews for the future. On our show, we want to showcase the most talented artists and builders in Web3, especially those building on Ape Chain and any other side. So when people make decisions on where they choose to spend their time, attention, and money, it comes down to knowing and trusting the faces behind the projects. So on this show, we like to take a deeper dive into our guests themselves and their origin stories. The Whatever Show is for people to learn about how artists and founders in this space found success and how to get started building on Ape Chain and any other side today. So with that, I'd like to introduce our guests. We've got Pillow, founder of Chill Pills on Ape Chain, and Rhydon, founder of a goat cult collection on Ethereum and Robinhood Chain. And Rhydon is going to be joining us later as he's trying to do something with his website before the show. Pillow, how are you doing?
Doing good, guys. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for joining us. And you got the title Other Side's Favorite DJ.
Yeah.
All right. First question I like to ask everybody is, do you consider yourself an artist first, a developer first, or a founder first, and why?
Probably an artist first. Reason being is when it comes to being like a developer, I'm more of an ideas guy. So like I find it hard to express myself because like when it comes to being hands-on, it's not really something that I'm good at. But see, the good thing about moving and shaking in Ape Chain is you meet a lot of builders, you meet a lot of artists, like, so I was able to basically reach out to people that I had seen working over the past year, and I had been, I was like, if I do this idea in my head, this is who I want this person to do that and this person to do that. And I had almost built like a team of, like Avengers. I was like, if I really decide to go forward with this, these people need to be on board, because these are the people that I want. And luckily enough, when I reached out to them, everyone was on board. But yeah, so Mikey Ethereum says he basically described it as like the idea was in my head, and I just they were just the paintbrush that I was able to flow through and create something. So I would say I was an artist. I don't want to use the word visionary because I'm not Steve Jobs, right? But like I go with the ideas guy. Like I have like a bunch of ideas, and basically people help me bring those ideas to life. So I would say artist because the art and everything is up here. But and then like everyone else helps me build, and then so I would say that.
It sounds like a little bit of founder too. If you're the ideas guy and you're out there directing people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say, I don't feel that I've like, I don't know. It's like everything just, I feel like when everything is there, then I'll really feel like a founder, you know, but like it'll feel real. But right now it's like, I don't know. I don't feel that I've deserved that title yet because like we're not off and running. But I think, you know, once we're set up and once everything is official and it's out there, that's when I'll completely grab the ball and just, you know, keep running and then I think I'll have a bit more confidence to say like, yeah, I'm a founder.
It looks like a really exciting project. We'll ask you the questions first, but let me say hi to Right On. Do you go by Rido or Right On?
Rito.
Rito, my bad.
You're good.
I was reading as Right On, but
You're not
Rito. So the first question I like to ask people before we get into the interview is just whether you consider yourself an artist first, a founder first, or a developer first, and then why.
I'm an artist first.
Well, why do you consider yourself that?
Well, I started out. That's how I got into crypto. In general, I was a collector. Honestly, in general, I was a collector of Corey Van Loo's, and he got into crypto as a painter. And he started saying like, "Hey, if you want to collect my art, you got to be in crypto." And so I got a wallet, and then I started creating when I minted a Bored Ape, and I started drawing just like additives onto Bored Apes, and just kind of became a derivative artist from there. So that's really where I got my start from, was just being an artist.
Gotcha. Well, thank you.
No problem.
We'll get started with Pillow here, and you can and see if you can fix that domain.
Yeah, it's
All right.
almost done. So.
Good deal. Pillow. So, tell me about your history with music, like going as far back as you remember.
Going as far back as I can remember is probably since I was like 13, 14. There was this program, it was Acid Pro. I'm pretty sure it was Sony Vegas Acid Pro. So basically we would go on LimeWire. I'm kind of showing my age now, but like we would go on LimeWire and download different beats and stuff, and different acapellas, and basically we would like me and a bunch of friends were really into music and stuff like that. So we would get the music and I'd just be able to like listen to the beats and sync things, and we would put acapellas in, different acapellas from like old school hip hop and rap and stuff, and like lay them over like dance music. And then once we'd made them, we would go into school the next day. And I don't know if you remember the old Nokia phones, and they had infrared in the top, and you would have to like sit there for like 5 minutes with the phones basically touching, and you would send them via infrared. So you would send it to one person, and they would send it to the other person, and then all of a sudden the full school was listening to your music that you had made. And I used to do that all the time, and that's like where I
awesome.
was like, yeah, I'm making stuff that like people think is cool and people like to listen to, and that's as far back as I can remember, like making music and sharing it. And then maybe like 2 years later, we developed fast in Scotland when it comes to drinking culture and things like that. So we would throw like house parties. Someone's parents wouldn't be in, and we would have a house party there, and I would always be the DJ. Like you'd always bring the laptop and hook it up to the sound system that they had. Like they would disconnect the TV and put the laptop into the sound system, and we'd just go ham. And I would always like just love to play music, and we would do it for hours and just party from like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then like start the week again on Monday. But it started literally in school, and then it went all the way through college, and eventually I started getting into this pub when I was 17 because one of my friends knew like the barmaid. So he kind of like snuck me in, and then so I would be like right up the back, out the way so they wouldn't like ID me. And right up the back is the DJ booth. So I actually got talking to him. He was a really cool guy. And then like he found out like I wasn't legally supposed to be there because of my age. So he would actually let me sit in the DJ booth in the corner, right? Super cool guy. And then eventually I was just like watching him and asking him stuff and like how does this program work and how do you do that and what do these do? What does a mixer do? And so he ended up teaching me how to do it. And then eventually he left like maybe 6-7 months later and to do a new job. And he basically said to like the guy who owned the pub, so I would have been 18 at the time. He said, like, I've been training that guy for like, the past year or so. If he should be the new guy. So I ended up taking over that job, being the DJ in the pub, and then I would like all my friends would come down every weekend. I'd just play like a bunch of bangers and we'd fill the place out. And then eventually the guy who owned the pub, he was like connected with everyone else who owned pubs and bars and clubs and stuff. They were looking for DJs. Some DJs wouldn't show up, they wouldn't be able to go. So then he would say to me, like, after this, can you go here? Next weekend, can you go here? Are you free next weekend? And I ended up traveling up and down the country for like almost 3 years, doing pubs and clubs, and like private events, parties, just everything. It was absolutely insane and I loved it. And then eventually, just turning probably 21, I then started working as security at festivals. So I'd done that for about 8 years. And that was when like I really got to enjoy music as well, because we would start work at like 6, maybe 7 in the morning. You would work 12 hours, and then after those 12 hours, you could go back to where we all stayed. Like it was like a separate bit in the campsite. Go back to your tent, get changed, and then come out and enjoy the festival. And like sometimes we stayed up to 2 in the morning, sometimes we stayed up to 4 in the morning. But as long as you were able to show up to work the next day at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you could do pretty much whatever you wanted. And because you had the security wristband, you could go anywhere, anytime you wanted, no questions asked, and do anything. So you had access to everything. Behind it, like backstage, you could go everywhere and anywhere. So, we enjoyed that. So it was. I met a lot of artists, seen a lot of artists. So you would do that from festival season, probably 7 months straight. You wouldn't be home for 7 months. You'd be like traveling on a bus, constantly hopping from festival to festival to festival. And then after it, you would come home just for the winter and you'd be like dead for like 2-3 months trying to recover. And then, a couple months go by and you're straight back into it. So I've done that for like 8 years. So I've seen a lot of festivals. I've experienced a lot of festivals. I've seen up close and personal a lot of insane music artists that I've always wanted to see. And being a lover of music, it was just it was perfect, and I had a lot of like some really crazy times, some special memories have been made. So yeah, and then I started playing around with some different applications and programs and started to make my own beats from scratch. And I made an album, and it was kind of a like uplifting, emotional album inspired by Above and Beyond, who are like my favorite DJs in the world. I managed to see them live, and it was incredible. And so after that, I didn't really want to share it. I was really self-conscious because it was like a journey of like, it was like breakups involved. There was like it was to do with like addiction, and there was like a bunch of, like really meaningful. It wasn't like in your face, but like you could certainly tell if you related some of the lyrics and things like that, that's what it was about. But it was also about overcoming these things, and it was like a whole story, and it meant a lot to me. So eventually, joined the Bored Ape Club in November of last year, and no one else was really doing music events. So I was like, hey, let me try come up with a way that I can do this. So we ended up going to the Belgian Beast and the Nexus, and what would happen is I would get on stage on the DJ booth. Everyone would jump on the DJ booth and like dance and stuff like that with their avatar, and you would turn your music volume down in game, go onto my X page, open up the stream, and then obviously have that playing in the background whilst you were in the Nexus, and it kind of felt like the music was playing through, and you were in a club and stuff like that. And then
Nice.
eventually I ended up playing the album, and people loved it, and I was like, maybe I've got something here. Maybe I should keep creating music, and I did, and week after week, I was creating different songs and playing it to people, and they were like, "This is brilliant! Like, where can I listen to this all the time? Is it on Spotify? Is it on YouTube?" And then I thought, like, maybe I do have something here that people are relating to and they're really enjoying it. So that's kind of where I'm at now. With everything that's going on, it's just started like that. I was a little bit self-conscious, and I just opened up and shared it with people, and people loved it, and I was like, you know maybe I should go for this. Maybe I'm just too much in my head thinking like people won't like it, or they'll think it's stupid, and then it just got a great reception from people, and I was like, nah, I'm doing this. This is what I want to do.
No, uh, that's a really detailed journey, and yeah, it sounds like you definitely got a lot of people that are excited for your music and what you got cooking up. I was going to ask you about the Bored Ape Gazette describing your lifelong love of music festivals, but you pretty much covered that. I can see definitely how you ended up with a lifelong love of music festivals with an experience like that. The Just a like quick random question: do you collect anything physical in real life, like anything music related?
Um, so I collect different vinyls from artists and stuff like that, but I don't open them. Like, they're all sealed and stuff, and it's
Nice.
like they're not really the things I collect that aren't really worth a lot of money, but they're really sentimental. So like the
Yeah.
value is to me. So I don't plan on reselling them or anything like that. And another thing I collect is every time I go to a concert, or an event of someone that I really like, I always buy a t-shirt, like merchandise, and I don't wear it. I wear it on that night, right? And then see when I come home, it gets hung up next to like 30 other different t-shirts. And I just like, because I don't want to ruin them. So every so often I just look through them and be like, oh, that was such a good night. Like, and so a lot of the things that I collect they're all sentimental value, that they don't really have like, like a resale value, but that's that's my kind of collecting, is like stuff that means something to you. Um, and then you can look back on it and be like, yo, that was awesome, and have good memories and stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's true collecting. Um, how did you find the Web3 space, and what made you decide to stay here?
So I was in a Discord. It was like a gaming Discord, right? I used to play a lot of Xbox, and I met some really cool people in there that I played games with, and they kind of put me on to Web3, and they're like, you should come join this server. We kind of talk about trading and stuff like that, and eventually I made friends through there, and the people that I've known for years and years and years are actually like Mutant Ape holders. And
Nice.
then I was like, they were telling me all about it, and I was like, this is really cool. I really want one of these. And then, eventually after years of like the price coming down, like, and me being able to actually afford one, it was November of last year, and I was like, I never knew what it was like inside the club. I never knew what it was like to be part of like that community, or I didn't really think anything would come of it. I just thought I'd have one, and I would be able to interact with a bunch of people that had one too, and make friends, and that happened, but like tenfold, like 100-fold of what I actually thought it was like. I heard someone, I think it was Whatever Man, and he was talking in a space last night, and he said something that really related to me, and it was like, until you're in the club, until you actually join and you experience it and you talk to everyone and you actually feel what it's like to be a part of something, almost like a big family, you'll never understand it. So, and I was like, that's like you hit the nail on the head. So, that's why I want to stay here. There's so many cool people, people I'd love to meet in real life, people that I can connect with on a deeper level than most of the people that I even know in real life. And it's, I have some pretty special connections of people that, show up for me no matter what. And like, that is very hard to find. So there's no chance that I'm letting that go. So they're definitely like, I'm here and I'm here to enjoy every moment of it. But there's a bit of a crazy story. So in January, obviously being new to Web3 and things like that, I got drained in January and lost
jeez.
all my ETH and my MACI, right? I can laugh about it now, but at the time it was very upsetting, right? But I can laugh about it now, but I certainly wasn't laughing back then. But the reason I can smile is because of the story after that. So to add also a little more context, once I had stopped working at festivals, I was working at a job where it was like teaching sales teams, and I had been at that company almost 5 years, right? 4 or 5 years, and they. Long story short, that company had to cut funds. They had to cut costs. So they chose 50% of their staff to lay off. And I unfortunately was one of those staff members. So just coming back after New Year, was drained, lost my job. Then I'm like almost like 3 weeks to a month later. The weather was really bad in Scotland. My roof of my apartment in the other room back there caved in and flooded the room. So I had to replace everything. I had to use all my savings and take out loans to replace. I had to replace everything that was in it. I had to repair the roof myself because of the contract that I was in, because I don't own the place. So I had to, like, I was looking at lawyer fees and taking them to court and everything, and they basically said, like, after meeting them once, like, you don't have a leg to stand on because of the position you're in with the contract that you've signed. It's your responsibility. So I was literally almost I was down and almost out, right? And at the time, it was like I had two options: completely capitulate, or have the best and greatest fucking comeback story you've ever heard in your life. And I was like, this could be the greatest comeback story of all time. So 8 months later, it's been up and down, but 8 months later, I have another MACI. The roof is fixed. Everything's replaced. I'm in a good place mentally, and the reason I say this story is because, like, a lot of people in the space don't know me because I'm kind of new. Like, I've only been here a couple of months, and but the reason I tell this story is because after everything I've been through, I feel that I am mentally unbreakable. Like, if I was going to break, I would have broke there, right?
Oh yeah.
And the fact that I was able to come back, it just, with the determination and the willpower that I've got, it just shows you, like, when I am determined and I say I'm going to do something, like, I do it. Like, I'm like a dog with a bone. So especially when it comes to what I'm building, like, no matter what obstacle is put in my way, I'm going to smash right through it. There's absolutely no stopping me. So that's what makes me confident of, like, doesn't matter what comes up, what is planned is happening one way or another. So I just thought I'd give you that backstory on what kind of happened and where I am now. I would consider it, for myself personally, the greatest comeback story ever. He was down and out, and after everything happened to him in such a short space of time, he still managed to come back and look where I am now and look where I'm going to be in the next year or 2 or 3 years. So I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of that, like mentally and it's character development.
Yeah, that's some tough character development. I mean, I love your whole story, man. That's really inspiring. You seem like a really genuine person. You seem like your interest in the space is really genuine. Like, I'm sorry that you had to go through all that, but I'm definitely happy for you. It's a hell of a comeback story. Um, Another question I have, I'm going to change directions a little bit here before we get into your actual collection. Is what's your favorite Ape Chain NFT collection right now?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, if you had to pick one.
Damn, that's a heavy hitter, Grimy. What you doing out here, dog?
That is
Sorry,
crazy.
bro.
You put me in a position here. There is a lot, but to pick one, I don't know if I can pick one, but I can give you a list of like really good ones that I think are like really innovative in the space. But I don't know if I can pick one, bro. Like honestly.
Sure, I'll take a handful if you can't pick one.
Okay. I love Otter's collection. Otterful Otters. I love Fresh Out's collection with the silly heads. I love Giants collection, the Yuppies. I really love Yuppie culture, like 1980s, American Psycho, Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street type of things. I really love Yuppies, right? So I fuck with them. I think Nemus have made a massive statement in the space. What Hype's done and what the guys over there have done, they've created something really special. And then I'm trying to think. There's I like Fiends. Fiends are really cool. Also like Hopstars. Like from the story of like DJing Tunes, and then they created Hopstars on Ape Chain. I really vibe with them. And then maybe another couple would probably be Mars Cats Voyagers. JB's collection. They're tough. The artwork on them are really cool. And then, I mean, I could probably sit and name you another 10, but you get the idea. Like I love it.
Certified Ape Chain fan, man.
There's loads, especially with the avatars. That like the avatars. I mean, Hyphus collection as well with the flingers and what he does with the wearables and everything like that. Like that guy's an absolute G, So like, there's so many good builders, and I've probably missed out like 10. And people probably say this back and be like, "What the fuck, bro? Like, you're not going to mention me?" And it's like, bro, I was on the spot. But there genuinely is so many collections that I think, I look up to, and I'm like, I hope one day like my collection is received as well as that collection. Like, I hope I can run mine as well as these guys are doing. That's the goal. They're the standard for me.
Yeah, I hope your collection's successful also. G-Spot, can you pull up the Billy Boy Beats YouTube?
This is a YouTube page, or is it a post?
It's in the chat. It's a YouTube page. I think it's the only YouTube link in there.
Give me 1 second.
Usually I get G-Spot the links early, but this time, so it might take me a second.
No worries.
It's because we were so locked in, bro, that you couldn't even fucking phase us.
had the blinkers on, bro.
All right. But I wanted to check out, one of your favorite songs from your YouTube. Play through it and then tell us like what your process was for making it. Are there any of these you'd want to choose for that?
Oh, there's quite a few. I would go with. If you go to playlists, and then so there's all the albums that I've released so far. So the first album that I ever put out was The Other Side of Love. I thought it was a good play on words, you know, with The Other Side.
Oh,
That
nice.
full album is about falling in love with someone, and after a few years falling out of love with them, breaking up, and being lost, and then being able to find yourself again, and finally be happy after like a breakup and stuff like that. So that one means a lot to me. I would probably go with Found My Tribe,
Inside the Other Side of Love album.
and Inside the Other Side of Love, yeah.
Check it out. And if you want to talk about it during the song, feel free. Sounds good, G-Spot.
I walk for miles on streets unknown, faces plain, hearts made of stone. Lost my voice, a silent tone, but then I heard a laugh like mine, a spark, a sign, a lifeline. I found my tribe, my kind of people. No more hiding, no more sequel. This is my home, where I belong. I found my place. I'm finally strong.
G-Spot, you want to turn it down a little bit? Pillow, can you tell us about like what went into making the song? Like what kind of programs
So-
you used, your instruments?
So I use Pro Tools and Fruity Loops to make the beats, and then a mixture of two AIs to like subscriptions to get the voice. So I'd probably say I write about 75% of the lyrics, so that I've got what I want to say, and then like I'll kind of run it through some different programs to see what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, and then I like. When I say that I'm a big fan of Above and Beyond, they collaborate with a singer often, and she's called Zoe. So I was able to get the prompt for her voice, or very similar to it's very similar to her voice. So then after that, I would take the beat that I had created and put it in to Suno, and then I would put in the prompt for what I wanted the voice to sound like, and I would paste the lyrics in. And then you would basically like run it through and see how it's synced with the beat that you'd made, and you would review it, and you would go over it and make changes and stuff like that to the voice, what you would want her to do, and like at certain bits how you would want her to say things softly and stuff like that. So that's how I get the voice, as like AI, and then like Pro Tools and a lot of Fruity Loops. It's kind of older program, but like I'm kind of more used to that. Pro Tools can be hard to use, so that's how I get the beats and then get the voice and the lyrics and put it all together. But this song was actually the last song that I made on the album, and it's a lot of it is about like where I was at the time of, you know, finding people, especially in the other side, and finding people who I could connect with, and people who liked the music that I shared, and they really brought like a different kind of perspective to where I was at. And then like because I was so self-conscious, and then I had showed them most of the album and they really liked it, and then that's how this song was created, and this was the last one, and I actually put this on to the end of the album. So this song never existed. Originally, the album was, I think, 12 songs, and then after releasing it, I felt a certain type of way, and I made this one, and then I put this in on the album as well, and put that on. So that's why that one's good. That's why I picked that one, because it's literally about the people that I had met in the space and the confidence that they had gave me to actually share what I'd created, and that then led to me creating more and being able to share more. So I thought that was a good one to pick.
Yeah, I mean, absolute banger, by the way. And I realized shortly after I had G Spot turn it down how dirty I did you by having it turn it down directly before the drop.
Right on the drop.
I know. I was like, oh no. It was like a 2-minute build.
He was like, hey, can you turn this down? I was like, no. What? What are you doing, man? I'm gonna listen to these albums tomorrow at work, dog, for sure. I got like 2 hours of drive time, so I'm gonna throw this on the truck and fucking.
There's a lot of different vibes. So this one's really emotional and kind of uplifting and stuff like that. But there is stuff that's on there that is like hard techno. There's one called one of the albums is called The Acid Tunnel. So when I was at this festival, there was in order to get to the main stage, you had to go through this tunnel, and it was like really kind of narrow and long, and it was like neon graffiti and just like loads of crazy trippy shit. And at the time we weren't 100% sober, so it was like, whoa, what is this? Right? So and that night, the type of vibe that was played, the sets that were played that night is always stuck in my head. So I wanted to create something that was like adjacent to the vibe that night, and that's where that album comes from. That's where the inspiration, the name, and everything comes from. And in the music festival that I'm building in the ODK, we're actually going to have the Acid Tunnel where you can go through, and then it opens up into the main stage and stuff like that. So everything that's being built in the festival inside the ODK is all things that I have seen in real life at festivals. It's all personal experiences and things that I've seen and stuff like that come from like memories and stuff like that are being built. So everything you see has like I've seen that in real life and experienced it in real life. So it's all like personal.
That's a really cool personal touch on it. G Spot, can you pull up the post that starts with "I can finally proudly announce"?
Yes, sir.
And then once he's got this up, tell us about Chill Pills and the Avenger team that you assembled. It looks like it's kind of laid out in this post. Cool. Yeah, tell us about Chill Pills and tell us about the team.
So Chill Pills is there's going to be 3,333 of them on 8chain, of course. The tagline for it is built on 8chain, built for Otherside, and it's because like I'm all in on 8chain, apes, like everything's apes, like I just like that is my family, that's my home, I love it, and that's what I'm sticking to. And I thought basically back in like December when I was doing I used to call it Trance Around the Other Side, because Above and Beyond would have a thing and they called it Trance Around the World, and they have it every Friday. So that's when we would meet in the Belgian Beast. That's when the idea came, like, can we get music inside the other side? And then the whole thing started like unraveling in my head. I was like, right, so we make a festival in the other side, in the ODK, we make characters, and everything just goes together. So I used to stream games around that time on Blaze, who've come over to the other side as well. So I met an artist on there she's called Cynthia. She's from Chile. She's stayed in the UK for quite a while now, and she's like super easy to talk to, super easy to work with as well. And she is really, really talented. So she hand draws everything that she does and streams it. So I basically said to her, like I came to her with an idea, and I said, listen, I won't be able to pay you up front, but I know it's a lot to ask, but here's the idea, and here is what I'm planning. And I basically told her everything, and she was on board. So she's took a big risk, like a big chance, like months and months of work has been put into hand drawing all these traits and everything. And obviously, like the mint funds will go to paying the artist, paying for the rest of the avatars to be made, paying Mikey to create. I think I probably need another 80 or 100 hours to really create the festival. But so the Chill Pills are little pill characters, and they have traits that I have worn and seen being worn at festivals. So you have bucket hats, you have different costumes, you have, tie-dye shirts, Hawaiian shirts, and there's like, I don't want to give too much away, but there is a bunch of cool stuff that I have seen. I went to this festival called Boomtown, and it's in the south of England, and basically everyone dresses up in a costume. So like every single thing that you see in this collection, I have witnessed or wore myself at festivals. So yeah, and then
That's
so
awesome.
then Prime Duma of primates on. There's another collection that I missed out. Like I told you, I knew I'd miss one out. I first connected with him when Dupes was doing the other balls. So for the first ever other balls, I was in Prime's team, and I designed this soccer jersey for us, and like he actually then took that and went and made it as wearables for our Primates avatars, which I thought was really cool. And then I was like, oh, this is the guy I want to make my avatars. So then Mikey Ethereum, he created his own game called The Mines, and it looks absolutely amazing. So I reached out to him and said, like, this is what I'm planning on doing. Would you be down to build it with me? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So like this is if one of these people said no, I wouldn't be able to do exactly what I wanted to do. But the fact that they all said yes, so this is the dream team. This is like the Avengers. They're all super easy to work with, which has been an absolute blessing to be able to work with them. So you've got 3,333 hand-drawn Chill Pills. I think there's about 160 or 170 different traits. They're all going to have one-to-one avatars in the other side. And then the festival is being built for everyone. So there's no gatekeeping. There's no, it's not locked. Get like, like if you don't mint this, if you don't buy this, you can't come to this. It's nothing like that. If the art doesn't resonate with you and you don't want to buy one, it's completely fine. You can still come to the festival that's being built. There's no gatekeeping whatsoever. The more the merrier. So the festival will have 3 or 4 stages, and each one is stages that I've seen in real life and have enjoyed being at. So everyone comes in, and we all meet at the campsite. There's campsites, there's tents. Every tent is a Macy trait. So we've got the pimp coat, the Hawaiian shirt, and there's a bunch more coming. So right now it's only about 20% made. So the mint funds is basically like all of the mint funds are being poured into the project so that I can build something and leave a legacy on the ape chain. Like actually have something that you can look back on 2-3 years, and hopefully I really want to be the pioneer of music events on 8chain on the other side. Like everyone, if you want to throw a music party, you go to the Chill Pill Fest, you know. So that's what I'm trying to build here. I'm trying to make, like, you know, really stamp my name in something that I love. I love to be like, I love to be here, and to have something where I'm so involved and, you know, like recognized is a dream come true. So everything's coming along nicely. I'm not rushing it. When everything's perfect, everything will be released. So it will come this year, but for me, there's no rush. The people who have, like, obviously have still to be paid and things like that, they believe in what I'm my vision. They believe that, yeah, I'll be able to drive it forward and you know, like, get where I need to be so that I can pay everyone that needs to be paid and build out everything that needs to be built out. Could take 6 weeks, it could take 6 months, but the people that are involved are fully on board with me, and to have their trust and be able to work with them is an absolute honour, every single one of them. So it's been really good so far. We have a little bit built out. You know, I've got Chili, who's the main character, as the Chill Pill. I have an avatar of him, but it's just me that has it, and I'm like stress testing it. So I'm like doing everything with it just to see if I can break it or not. And then he'll be the placeholder for when we start minting, and then obviously, like, a couple of weeks, whether it's 8 weeks, 12 weeks, once all the avatars are built out, then we'll have a big reveal party, and basically everyone will refresh once we're in the festival, and their avatars will change to the actual NFT that they have. So, and then I had like a really cool idea where, you know, for when everything is built out, and, you know, maybe there's an anniversary of a year or 6 months or something like that, we do something with wearables, so that we can have like a 1 year anniversary or something, like, where you can have a wearable of, you know, like when you go to a festival or a concert and you buy merchandise for that band, something like that you can actually wear on your Voyager, and then we sell the wearables super cheap, and everyone grabs one, and we use all the money and we give it to, like, St. Jude's, or like a children's charity that we can donate with crypto and stuff like that. So there's just a bunch of ideas that I've got, and so, like, again, if people do, you know, want to mint and grab the NFT and have a cool avatar, and basically the funds that are from the mint are all getting poured into paying everyone back and building out the rest of the festival that everyone can come enjoy. I'm not doing it to make money or anything like that. All the funds will be put in back into the project. It'll all be on the blockchain. I'm just doing it to create something really cool. If I had a bunch of funds, like, if I had a lot of money, I would just build this and do it as a free mint. But obviously, it takes money to build stuff, and, you know, like, for people to do it. So that's, I think it's going to roughly be like $10, and then we'll do like a wait list for maybe 25 to 30% of the collection, and the people on the wait list are guaranteed mint. They'll get like 50% off. So when it all mints out, and, you know, all the artists are paid and everything's like there, we're going to have a full collection. Every single one of them's going to have an avatar. We're going to have a massive festival in the ODK, events every week, where you know, special events that I put on, events that other collections and other people have came to me and, you know, like, can we do this? Can we do that? And there's also an avenue where you can come in, like Bait Apes have done. Bait Apes came in and paid Mikey for his time. And they've came to me and says, can we use the Chill Pill Festival to host our mint party this Friday? And I was like, absolutely. I don't want any money. I don't want any compensation. Absolutely nothing. All you need to do is pay Mikey for his time, and he will build what you are looking for. So they sat down with him a couple hours, and they built out the Banana Coast theme stage that is in there right now, and we're going to be using that on Friday for their event. And I've made a 3-hour set list of absolute old school hip hop bangers, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I'm so excited. Like this event is going to be absolutely popping, and it's really cool because it's like the first collaboration that a collection has actually reached out and said, like, we love what you're doing, we see massive potential in this, we would love to be the first ones to actually, you know, collaborate with you, and that's such an honor. So yeah, the Bay
I
Apes
think-
party, the Banana Coast party this Friday, it's so we'll open the world at 6 p.m. because some people I usually would open the world like 10 minutes before, right? And some people have problems with the ODK. Sometimes the profile comes up and they can't click it away, and it takes them a little bit, you know, and then they miss the start of it. So that now learning that, you know, always learning, always, you know, coming up with kind of like whatever obstacles are put in the way, there's always a way around it. So like I like problem solving, so we'll always find a way. So that's why we say doors open at 6 so that everyone's guaranteed to get in and make sure it's working. The party is at 7. So what happens is everyone goes over to the stage at 7 p.m. and there's for this one there'll be 3 radios, right? Part 1,
Sound off,
part
G-Spot.
2.
Okay, cool.
There'll
Sorry,
be
no, sound off because it's copyrighted. My bad, Brent. I
Yeah,
didn't mean to
yeah,
interrupt
no, I
you.
got you.
oh yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, there's the Banana Coast stage. So there'll be down the bottom left when you come in, there'll be 3 radios, and it'll be marked part 1, part 2, and
Wow.
part 3. The reason being is because we actually ran into a problem where in the ODK you can only play up to 50 minutes of sound, and then it'll cut out. So the way we got round that was instead of playing it for everyone and then it cutting out, we would have, you know, part 1, 50 minutes here and 50 minutes there. And after the first part is finished, you just go to the other radio and click it and it will continue like that. And that
Nice.
kind of builds into the vibe of Above and Beyond, like do this thing where halfway through the set, they'll bring someone up from the crowd and they push the button and it's kind of like a thing. And basically, they'll play the song up to the beat just before the beat drop and they'll let the fan press the button and experience it. And that's kind of what we have here because everyone goes up to the stage. We do a countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we all push interact at the same time. And we're all synced and we hear it at the same time. So it's like part of the lore now. So it started off as a problem and then, you know, we were able to adapt and change it to something that was actually interactable and made it more you know, feel like you were involved more. So it's super fun. It's really fun to build. It's great to work with Mikey. The guy's an absolute genius. And
Looks
I've
beautiful.
become really close with the people that I'm working with as well. So, you know, it's like you're friends for life now, you know. So it's really cool. It's an honor to even be able to have the opportunity. And especially to come on here and share it as well. So I just want to say, like, you know, thanks very much for having me on, and like I really appreciate this.
Of course, man. And I'm definitely going to support your project. I plan on minting. We're going a little bit over, but I want to go through a couple of posts that you sent us. G-Spot, can you pull up the post, Take a Chill Pill? I think this is the only preview of the NFT art that I've seen so far, so I wanted to show that off.
Yeah, that's Chili.
That's Chili, the main guy. Nice.
Yeah, that's the main character. So there's actually, I should have sent you it, but it's quite a while back. There's a picture of me and my dog, right? And in that picture, I'm wearing that outfit. Versace hat, like literally blue Hawaiian t-shirt, like everything about it. Like, so again, everything that you see in here and the traits are something that I've either worn or seen worn. So everything's personalized. Like everything's like it comes from somewhere, you know. So I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I love it. G-Spot, can you pull up the Chill Pill Fest or the post Chill Pill Fest Other Side Presents Oktoberfest? And I just want to throw in there to plug my collection. What is it? Mysterious Dudes is going to have whitelist for Chill Pills as well. So definitely, our community is going to show up to support you.
I
Tell us
keep
about
this one
Oktoberfest.
muted. I'd keep this one muted as well because it's also copyright. So
Thank you.
these are the band t-shirts that I was talking about, and so I thought Oktoberfest, I'm going to do every Wednesday. Is going to be a new band that I've seen in real life, and that's the set that I'm doing. So Blink 182, I had the Blink 182 event a couple weeks back, and now the start of it is, as you can tell, the first band is going to be Limp Bizkit. Excuse me, one of my favourite bands of all time. Maybe not everyone's taste, but come along and see if you like it. It's going to be a vibe, by the way. But Limp Bizkit is, I've been listening to them since I was 10 years old. The first album I got was Limp Bizkit. It was the Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavoured water.
The
And
hot dog flavored water, boy.
the first song I listened to, the first song I turned on, I remember bringing it home with me and my big cousin, and like, because it was for my birthday. And I remember turning it on, and the intro was like aliens. And it was like, "This is not a test," and it was like a little beat. And then all of a sudden, hit into track one, it was like, "Ladies and gentlemen," and it was hot dog, and it says the word "fuck" like 72 times. and me and him were just looking at each other like, "Oh my god!" So yeah, that's Limp Bizkit's going to be the first one, and then I'm keeping the other three bands as a secret, but every week for October, it's going to be a 2-hour event every single Wednesday, and it's all going to be
Very
bands that I've seen in real life, and so it's just cool to share. Like, and it's weird because like I was just talking about this with my homie Shrine of Bones. Like one week you will get Limp Bizkit, okay, and then like not necessarily an Oktoberfest, but just for argument's sake, 1 week you'll get Limp Bizkit, the next week you'll get Mac Miller. The next week you will get like 80s, like the Pet Shop Boys. You know, like my music variety, the range of it is so big. That's why, like, see, when it comes to putting on events, I could put on an event every single week for fucking 10 years. There is no limit to the amount of music that I like and that I can play. So you'll never run out of songs to play, which is why it's so great, because like I'm never going to be struggling for an idea. I'm just going to be like, I like this band, I like this kind of music. Let's do this event. Let's see if people like this event. You know, so it's just like unlimited like potential to play music. You can never run out.
Who was with Limp Bizkit at Loserville?
Bro, it was very strange because there was a bunch of people that I'd never heard of, right? And
Was
like,
Corey Feldman with them?
No, he wasn't, and I was so disappointed, bro. I was so disappointed that Corey Feldman wasn't there.
was in Birmingham with him, and I was like, okay,
bro,
Corey, I
was so disappointed. Who did we have? I think we had Bones, and we had oh my god, what do you call the guy? And he goes, "My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody."
Riff Raff.
Riff Raff.
Yeah, Riff Raff was with them too. Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Riff Raff only got 2 songs, and then Limp Bizkit had to come in and take it away straight away, because I don't know if you went to Loserville. See the guy who was hosting it, and he would like talk all the way through it, and he would like chat shit. Well, people in Scotland did not like that at all, so they started throwing drinks at him, and fucking everyone's chanting at him. Like, fuck this guy, and they were going crazy. So he had basically pissed off the crowd, and they had waited so long on Limp Bizkit, they had enough. By the time, I felt sorry for Riff Raff, because Riff Raff came out and he was doing his thing, and everyone's basically like booing, and they're like, "Bring Limp Bizkit on fucking now before we riot." And Limp Bizkit had to just be like, "Right, Riff Raff, thanks very much, bro." Fred Durst came out and he was like, "Ladies and gentlemen," everyone's like, "Yeah." But it was a hostile crowd. The host, like, I don't know if that was his thing, but
No,
they
that's
did not.
That's his thing. He was pissing people off in Birmingham too, bro. For real.
Yeah, Scotland did not appreciate that, bro. So I honestly, it was really tense. Like, I thought people were going to riot. There was drinks getting thrown and like right at him, hitting him right in the face and stuff like that. So then he was like, "Oh well, fuck you guys. I'm gonna take longer. I'm gonna piss you off more." And I was like, "Brother, this is not the place to do that, man. This is Glasgow. Like, you don't fuck around, right?" It was some night though. But the pop when Limp Bizkit came on. Incredible. I've seen them a couple of times now. I've seen them back in Reading Festival. That was the first time I seen them, was 2015, and it was just magic, bro. Special band, especially like being a fan of them for like 20 odd year. Just brilliant. Loved it.
My mom
Well,
still puts on Fred Durst in the truck, dog, when we were driving around, bro. She'll hit the my way and everything, dog. I love me some Limp Bizkit. Dude, I've been
Same,
saying, bro,
bro.
y'all bring Limp Bizkit to A-Fest, dog. It's gonna go crazy, dude.
Oh, bro, I'd fucking find a way to get that. I'm telling you right now, bro. Imagine that. That would be amazing. Figgy, if you're watching, bro, make it
Limp
happen.
Bizkit.
I'm in.
Me too.
Well, we gotta move on to Rito here because we're going a little bit over on time. But Bill, I really appreciate you coming on the show. I love your story, and I'm gonna be minting chill pills, and I wish you the best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much for having me on, guys. It's been an absolute blast.
Of course, thank you. And you're welcome to kick it here or ask any questions to Rito that you have. Otherwise, you can take off. Up to you.
No, I'll hang around. I'll mute my mic and watch the show. But thanks again for having me on. It's been a blast. I really appreciate it.
Of course. G-Spot, you want to cue up the intermission
Yes, sir.
if we've got it?
ネオンのジャングル夜は飛び越えて画面の向こうから叫びがバズってる暗闇ファンキー歯を見せて笑う G スポットは指先でチャートを切り裂くスマホの光が瞳に火をつけて今夜も始まるよ猿たちの配信準備はいいかって世界に投げて恋の波間を一緒に泳ぐんだアピアピぶち上げろライブジャンプジャンプ月まで届けワンツースリーで勝って打って笑って車な夜に未来をつかめアピアピ止まらないバイバス森の電波で夢を回せ世界にフランキー G スポットとクリプトの嵐を今巻き起こせ
Love these videos. Shout out Blue Bebop. He puts our animations together for our promos. Rito, how's it hanging?
It's good, man. I enjoyed listening to Pillow and what he's got cooking, man. That's some interesting stuff. I didn't know you were plugged like that and you had done all that, dude. That's crazy. So I started off as a concert photographer. I did that for a decade. I shot for Marilyn Manson, Third Eye Blind, Suicide Boys, like Lil Peep before he passed away, R.I.P. Like,
Oh, wow.
I've shot for lots of famous people, Famous Dex, Lil Durk. I mean, the list goes on. Like, had a huge portfolio, and then that's kind of how I met Corey as an artist. He was painting at some festivals and stuff that I was shooting at, and so I just liked looking at art and ended up meeting people through that. But yeah, it's really cool. Like, the music industry is dope, dude. So it's cool to see that you're doing all that stuff, especially bringing it to other side for people to enjoy, online and at their house if they need to or if they want to. So that's pretty cool. And the setup that you built, the ODK world, bro, that thing looks dope. So I look forward to checking that out, dude.
I appreciate that. That's an awesome story, bro. Like, like later on, like you should show me your work, bro. But that's amazing. Like some of those artists that you just named are my absolute favorites. Like, wow, man, that's class.
Yeah,
That's really fucking cool.
It's dope. When Pete passed away, his mom put my photos in his memorial that I had taken. That's like, it's so crazy, dude. Like to have
An
that
honor.
Yeah, it's an honor. So it was really cool. But yeah, man. So
Tell us about your history as a photographer, artist, before we get into your project.
Yeah, man. I started off photography. I went to college for web design. Originally, I've been a graphic designer, web designer since I was probably 13. I taught myself Photoshop, and I was doing like Call of Duty edits and stuff back then. But and yeah, right, montages, stuff like 3D motion tracking, all that good stuff. And then I was like, I'm gonna go to art school. I was actually a really good lacrosse player at the time, and I used that to my advantage. I went to art school on a full ride instead of going and playing like D1 or D3 ball, and went to Savannah College of Art and Design, and when I got there, I didn't know that their like mission is if you come in and you're already artist, they don't care. Their mission is like you can come in knowing zero and they'll teach you how to be an artist. And so they start everybody at like base one. Like whatever major you want to go into, you still have to go do like charcoal one and all this random stuff that you would never really, want to pursue is if you're in a niche category. And so I got really tired of just learning Photoshop over again my first year. And so I've been doing it for years and they're teaching me to do things that there's like in Photoshop, you can get the same outcome 10 different ways. They just want you to do it a certain way. And I would do it a different way and they'd give me bad grades. And I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm going to go do a major that I know nothing about. And since they want to teach me to do so, I chose photography because I had a camera. And my first year, I got really into it. I didn't know how to use manual on a camera until I took my first photo one class my freshman year. And after my freshman year, when I submitted my final, my professor brought me in and he was like, hey, well, he's like, you like to do natural light photography. And he's like, everything from here on out is going to be studio based in our program. And he's like, do you have any interest in doing that? And I was like, nah, I like natural light stuff. I want to shoot concerts and advertisements like outdoors and like cars and stuff like that. And he was like, well, dude, he was like, just take your portfolio and go. And he was like, people are going to hire you. Like, because I had a good eye for imagery. And so this dude, backstory on this professor, he'd been homeless like his whole life. And now he's like a really infamous photographer. And so I took his word for it because he had a story like that, where like you could go out on your own without a degree and be successful. And so I was like, okay, I'll save my money and I'll go. And so I moved to Austin and I started just shooting concerts. I just go to bars and I'd be like, hey, I'm a photographer. I was like 18 at the time. I was like, I won't drink. You can X me up. I just want to take photos, and so I started getting in. I got into a place here in Austin called Empire Control Room. And when South by Southwest came by, I got a residency as a photographer there. And that's how I got to shoot.
Oh, nice.
Started off for like Lil Yachty and Waka Flocka and like Wale and like Rick Ross and Questlove. And like I got to shoot for tons of people and meet people and give out my cards. And eventually just through word of mouth, like people would just call me and email me and hire me. And I'd be like, whoa, what the hell? I got to go to Louisiana and shoot for Marilyn Manson this weekend. Like it was just like I get calls like that. And eventually I just kind of got tired of it. There's a lot of contracts and stuff that goes in with photography and music, and people try to skimp you for photos. And so through that, I decided to switch it up because I was just that's all I was doing full time was concerts, and ended up getting into crypto. That was about the time I minted my Bored Ape, and I was in love with the idea that you could take that asset and earn with it, or you could make it, the pinnacle of your company or whatever. You own the IP of that ape. And I remember I bought one. I didn't want one with a bunch of traits because I had intended to customize it. And so I bought one, and the first thing I did, he was just a white ape with a ripped t-shirt. And the first thing I did was I drew a Supreme beanie because I had been reselling sneakers and stuff back then. And that was kind of my staple. I was like one of the first derivative artists in the Bored Ape community. And I was the first person to make wearables for Bored Apes. It was I made Cobain sunglasses, and they were like an NFT that you downloaded. It was a Photoshop file, and it was canvas locked, so you couldn't mess it up. You just put your ape image underneath it, and you saved it, and you got wearables. And I did like furs and stuff. I figured out ways to do it, but the problem I had was that people still didn't know Photoshop, or they didn't know. I was making like video tutorials for like 7 different editors, just like trying to show people how to use them. I was like, man, this isn't efficient. Like some people don't want to do this. And so I was like, I need to build like an app where people can just one-click solution, like think of like a GTA character customizing where you can just swap t-shirts and he's just standing there. And so I was like, if I could do that with the apes where they could just, bam, you want a red hat, bam, it's there. Like you click it. And so I met another ape named Anon Function, and I'm not sure where he's at nowadays. He still owns his apes, but he's kind of AWOL. And he made what we called Ape Closet at the time. And we got to do the Suit Up for Christie's thing. We did the G-Funk collab. We had a wearable for them. We did like some Halloween stuff that first year. And we had like an X app, and you could just tweet at the X app. You could say like, I want Basie 514 with vampire, like, and it was like a command that you gave it, and it would just spit you back an image of that ape with the new image on there. And then we did that. We had probably 40,000 image generations on X before we got rate limited by Elon. Elon took it and completely like shut that down. Like it wasn't just me.
That's like,
It wasn't just me, but yeah, it got shut down. So we're like, okay, well now we got to build an app, like a real app. And so at this point in time, dude, I was not a coder whatsoever. I could build website front ends, but I could not do anything on the back end, with image generation or even Wallet Connect. I didn't even know how to do that, like on a website. And so me and Anon made what we call Base Ape Game. And that is my collection on Base. It was a free mint, and it's a derivative ape collection, but every single ape there has a wardrobe of, I don't know, dude, like it's grown so much over the years. It started off, everything had like 3 variations of just color or pattern or whatever. And now every trait probably has 30 to 50 like different variations of it with logos, colors, patterns. So every single ape in that collection, I would say like they have upwards of like 600,000 different variations you could save on the blockchain. And it just like allows someone to be an ape, or someone that maybe wants to get into the ape community, but they can't afford a Macy, or they can't afford a Basie, and but they want to meet those type of people and be around those type of people. And so it's just like an onboarding type community. And we actually have, it's one of the, I would say it's the only derivative collection that has like an IP license agreement with Basie, with Yuga. And so like we're 100% clear to continue doing that, because I've kind of paved the line between IP infringement and non-IP infringement, And so from there, like that's all I've really done is just on-chain customization. I kind of brought that in, and a lot of people are like, oh, no one cares to swap their clothes. But now like that's the only thing people want to do, is they want wearables, and they want and so it was funny just to see that kind of fruition, and come about in the space, even though it wasn't my project that really got the flowers for it, but just to see everybody incorporate it is like really cool, because I was like, man, I was ahead of the curve, and so that was enough validation for me. But about a year ago, I decided that I wanted to branch out and make my own IP for the first time. I've never drawn anything that was like my own. It's always just been derivative apes, and like I would draw different clothes, whatever you want to customize, but nothing was mine. I'm still like walking under the shadow of Basie, and like having to go under their guidelines and stuff. And so I was like, if I just make my own anything, I can build anything I want with it. And so I made a goat cult, because I was a Pokemon player, a RuneScape player. Like I like medieval stuff, and lots of lore and mysterious and like magic. And so I made the goat cult, and it's nothing religious. Some people will be like, oh, I won't buy it because it's satanic. And I'm like, there's nothing satanic about it. Like, it's just some goats that are like living in a cave. It's more Assassin's Creed Odyssey than anything. Like, but so I made the goats, and we had the goats for a year on Base. They were just artwork, and there was only 3,000 of them. And I had this like staking game where you would stake into the staking portal, and it would assign you a random time of stake between 72 hours or between 6 hours and 72 hours. And so after you completed your full stake, we called it drifting in the veil. You came out and you had a random NFT from the like wearables collection, or you got nothing. Like there was a chance you could get nothing in it. And so it was kind of like a gamified stake for extras in the collection. And a lot of people, I mean, we had over half the collection staked at one point in time, but it just really didn't hit like it wanted it to. It was gamified, but it didn't really bring value to the project. And so I was like, man, I really want to build a game, because I played I'm an avid Pokemon Go player, and I used to have a jailbroken phone, so I have like godly Pokemon, and I just like to battle. All I like to do is just pub stomp people in the battles, right? But so one day, like about 8 months ago, me and my brother, he plays it too. I'm playing him. I'm like, bro, I wish I could just bet you $10 right here on the site, like on the app. I wish we could just place a wager, and me and you battle our Pokemon, and whoever wins it gets the 20. It's in a ledger. It's like controlled and everything. I was like, but Pokemon will never do it. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a blockchain game where you can wager in card-based battle, right? And place wagers, or you can just win rewards from the house if the house wants to pay out. And so I started kind of researching different types of turnstile games and researching moves that all these games have, and spells and drain spells and all these things, and eventually curated a lot of stuff where I now have what I call the Ether decks. It's like it's really crypto themed turn-based cards, and so there's eight factions in the Ether decks, and they're all tied to some type of trader in the crypto community, and then every single move that they have in that faction is also tied to like things that they would do. So like the Ether cult is kind of like symbolism of Vitalik and ETH, where he can like print infinite tokens that he wants to. So they're like healers, and they have all the heal spells. And like the Void is like people that drain your wallet. So all of their stuff is like drain spells and like hackers. And then like we have Glitch, and Glitch is like a actual like a malware type of person, and like that's like trying to get you on a drainer link, not just like I don't know. There's a lot that goes into. I could go in all of them, but that you kind of get the idea of where I'm going with it. But it's a lot of fun if you really read into it and you get into it. And Frankie, you kind of play it a little bit, but
Oh yeah, I haven't had time this last week, but like I'm a big fan of JRPGs and like Final Fantasy, especially. I'm like crazy about. So like before I realized this was like a card based thing, I tried out like one of the functions, and it was like turn based battling, and I was like, what the hell? This is like play to earn turn based battle game. I was like, I'm fucking in. Like I thought it was a very cool project, and so I wanted a little bit of time to go over your website because there's so many different things that people can do on there. But before we do that, you had a couple posts recently that I wanted to just talk through with like because you're shipping out new games and features for these guys on the regular. G-Spot, would you mind pulling up the post that starts with the command post is opening soon? Sweet. Yeah, tell us about the command post.
So the command post is a way for we have holders. So like in the core game, which is the Fight Caves, which is basically gamified staking, not gamified mining, and so it's not equal distribution mining; it's skill based mining, and so you have to be good at the game, and you also have to stake to get into higher rewards pools, so that you can earn more. So if you're staking like 5 mil, which you keep entirely liquid, you would get like 4x the reward pool that the regular people are that are getting at 1x, and so there's more to go around. But the command post gives reason for holders that have more than 18 goats reason to keep more than 18 goats. And so with the command post, they can actually list their mercenary for like a daily price, and it's in the PR currency, and that's just a flat fee. Like we as a house, I don't take any of that. That's just for them on a day rate. And then they can set the commander share, which is actually what the renter is earning, not what the owner of it is earning. And so the owner will still earn like their full amount that they earn if their goat is rented from them. But I'll give you an example. One of the holders, I put mine for like 1,000 day rate the other day, and he makes on average he makes about 300K PR a day. And so I put a 30% commander share for the renter with a 1K fee, and the guy that rented it made 30,000 PR that day off of his 1K buy. So it literally gives reason for
nice.
You don't even have to own a goat to use this. You could come in and be like, hey, I'm going to buy 10 cents worth of Pet Rock, which is our currency that we use. And I literally 10, like 1,000 is like 10 cents right now. And so like you could come in and put 10 cents in and rent it, and you can make back 10 50x like what you just did off of a rental. And there's no limit to how many you could rent from the command post, but it gives someone that already has all of their squads filled, they can still make more because they have their mercenaries out for hire on the command post, so they can earn more. And then it lets other people earn more because they might not have the money to buy a really pricey goat that actually earns like that. And so they can kind of get their ground foot in and use that. And so really cool process, really cool thing that a lot of people wanted me to add. And so I was happy to get it done. But yeah, that's really how it works. We've seen a lot of people using it too.
Yeah, pretty innovative. Especially all of this tied together. G-Spot, can you pull up the post that starts with sneak peek at our newest game?
Yeah, King of the Hill. It's really King of the Pasture, but it's not really a hill. But so this is a completely one thing I should tap root on is that all of these goats fight completely autonomously unless you play manually. But when you deploy them into our fight caves, which is the main game mode, they fight 24/7. Well, not 24/7 because they fight for 30 games if they win or 30 games if they lose. Max trip of 59 games. And then you have to redeploy them. But they know there's an AI back. You can talk to these goats. They know everything about the ether decks, like better than I know about the ether decks, because they're they're a hive mind with 15,000 different profiles. So they all have their own way they talk. Like if they're very good and they have like a high win-loss ratio, they're pretty cocky when you talk to them. Like they're like, "Nah, don't change this. I'm good. Like I know what I'm doing," and they learn they learn what move is better on their card, and they'll tell you like, "Hey, I don't really use this move that much. You should get me this move." When they come back with their battle report, there's a lot of things that they do, but when they go in and they battle, if you're starting like a fresh one, he really just kind of like random rolls what he's using off of his card, but then he looks at it after he wins or loses. He said, "Okay, well, did I win? And how many times did I use move one?" And if he won, then he's like, "Okay, then I'll use move one more next round." And then if that doesn't work for him, then he'll start using it less. And he goes back and forth on like an AI. There's two different AIs in place here. And one is like the core hive mind knowledge, and then one is a fighter knowledge. And it's really like a number-based average, but they really learn styles and metas of how to fight based on what they have. And so we've seen some of these guys that have trained their goats, and these goats don't lose, dude. Like they're killers. And so one thing I really want to enable eventually is like manual based input, because they can learn from the manual input, but we just have it disabled right now. So it's only their input that they learn from. But so this game mode is a new game mode because this isn't turnstile. This is all of our squads are in here. Hold on, there is a game about to go. If you guys hold on, G-Spot, pull up the website right now.
I think it's goatcult.xyz.
Yeah.
Let me go to the Twitter page real quick.
So there's one about to start here in a minute and 15 seconds. It's a $7 million pot or 7 million PR pot right now. But so this is a wager game mode. You pay to get into it, and it's the way it's distributed is go to on the left bar. It's the one with the crown, the king of the hill. Middle, right there. Yeah.
There you go.
And then scroll down. Okay, and then just click that inner squad on that grand lobby right there. And so we're just gonna watch it, and then when it starts here in about 3 minutes, it'll start, and we can get a live preview of what these guys. So these guys this is everybody that's loaded in right now in their squads. If you scroll down, you can see them. We all have like calling cards that you can customize. So it's like kind of Call of Duty themed, kind of Destiny themed. I'm a big player of those two, but it just shows everybody loading in. The win-loss ratio doesn't work right this second, but they've all wagered 1 million PR in this game mode. And then when it drops, the winner is going to take home about probably 30% of the pot. And then the rest of it will be distributed to the people that are second, third, and then second, third, and then where is this? Second, third, and then we have survival, and we have blood sport. So as your squad survives longer in the game mode, they accrue your entry fee back. And then if they also get kills in the game mode, they get points back for that too. So you can not necessarily win the game mode. You could just, get fourth and get 5 kills or something, and you might break positive. You might even get more money than the dude in third place got just because of your participation in the game. So it allows people to just, not just lose it all right at the start, if they go out instantly. And so this is all turn-based, or not turn-based, this is all random numerals. And so we actually have mining on the backside of this, where if you have a dormant goat that you want, you can solve tasks for this game mode, and they can repair the wall. If you see up there, it says pasture health. So like every time a goat runs into the wall, it takes away from the pasture's health. And so it's basically, if you don't want to participate in anything in our community, right, but you just want a passive stake, you could do that through our proof of work staking method. And so what that does is it repairs walls, it validates kills, it validates the scorecards at the end, it distributes the payments, it resets the games, it chooses like the parameters for the games, because this lobby specifically random rolls its credentials every time. So right now it's 200, 19, 19, and 6 stars, but next time it could be like 5, 4, and 100 HP. So it just kind of, it picks, the grand lobby is always a random parameter for just, because I want people to not just play with max goats. I want them to play with all different levels of goats. Like that's the one
Right.
kickback I've gotten with this thing is like, man, we can't, everybody has the ability to build up a great goat. You can take a level 5 goat and spend a month on it, and you can bring it to a 2020 if you want to. It just takes time in the games to do it. But with this, it just allows people to bet big, and they can use a level 1 goat if they want to, you know, and like maybe they're just battling up the level 1 goats for a couple $1 million pot. And so this is a cool game mode though. This is a community built game mode by one of our holders. I kind of took it from him and made it a little bit better than his original code, because it was really just like them crashing into each other, and I was like, no, this is a wager mode. Like this isn't just like a free for all. And so we built this, and it's dope, dude. We're gonna get a live preview. So I think it takes 2 minutes for this thing, but there's no timer. It'll just spawn the pasture here in a second, and they'll all just start going at each other, and you'll see numbers coming up. But
Do we need to click anything or?
No, he doesn't need to click anything. It'll just pop up. It's a live stream. Everything on our site is live stream. So every fight that's going on in the fight caves, G-Spot, if you hover over that right bar on the right, far right on the side. Yeah. So every single one of those don't click it, but every single one of those is a fight happening on our site right now from someone. And you can just go through and you can watch them. And if they're yours, you can take over if you want to. And so that's not this lobby that we're watching. That's Fight Cave. So those are all 1v1s going on, and or 3v3s and 2v2s. And then we have some bots for like the lower levels. So here we go. You can see them.
Oh, they're off. They're off.
Yeah. Are they going to fight?
Kill them.
Oh, yeah. There we go. One just went down. But yeah, so this is a game mode. So these goats are using their battle AI. They're using all their moves that they have, and no one's controlling them. They have a squad radius, so they know to stay kind of within their squad unless they get separated. They have a fight radius of like acknowledgement of near ones. And then there's also like a, what would you call it? Like a searching randomness, where they, like every minute they ping and they go towards just in the direction of the closest enemy, basically, to keep them from just like, because when we were testing this, they would get locked in corners by accident. And so it would take like 15 minutes for them to get out of a corner. And so this kind of helps them all resolve within like a 10-minute time frame. But like, there's no cap to this. We put like 200 goats in this the other night, and it was crazy. Like it was just an absolute like But
That sounds sick.
yeah,
I got my money
can-
on this guy right here. He's a badass.
So I was
I'm
going to
gonna
open
fuck
up
with him.
side betting on here too, so you could side bet if you wanted to.
That'd be sweet.
But if you scroll down, you can see the leaderboard. You can see them accruing score points. So the blue is their what they've accrued for survival, and the red is what they've accrued for kills. And so they're winning back their initial. But yeah, it's just AI's fighting based off of their AI logic that they know.
As far as like Web3 play to earn games, I think this is like really cool. A question I want to ask, it's I guess a little bit off topic, is so like you've got here, I don't want to switch it yet because I kind of want to see who wins this battle since we're
My
pretty
guy
close.
died.
I don't want,
He's already out.
seems like he's gone for a second anyway, so let's see who wins. But then let's pull up the OpenSea collection.
But yeah, I don't know who's going to take this one now.
G-Spot, you said your bet's already out?
Yeah, he's dead.
All right. Pull up the OpenSea.
I lost $20, man.
Looks like MJ's going to take it home. MJ's got 2 squads up. So if you, any player can put 3 squads of 3 into this game mode. It allows, so if you can put 9 goats, but if they kill each other, you don't get blood sport for it. So you can't farm
Now
around.
we got to see who wins.
Yeah. So this is a 1v1, but it's between his own 2 squads. Oh, man.
There we go.
Yeah. So.
It's between his own 2 squads.
So he won 500, or I can't. If you scroll down, you can see how much he won. Yeah, right there. So he won 2.5 mil. So he got 1.5 mil profit off of his 1 mil bet. And
Let's go.
yeah, and so then you can kind of scroll down and see everybody else kind of made back most of what they put down. It was $1 million to enter, and almost everybody got half or almost half, unless you went out really early. But yeah,
Yeah, man, this is fun. It's fun. I like it
and
a lot.
this is
Yeah.
just surface level. Like we could add graphics and sprites to this, and we could have them casting blue spell orbs
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. That like it's just, if I had a budget to get a game layer done to it, it could be a whole nother thing. So
Oh yeah. G-Spot, can you pull up the OpenSea collection? All right, nice. So something that's like interesting about this collection to me is like basically how much variety there is and how valuable these things are and the way that they're traded. Because G-Spot, if you want to click on one of the NFTs,
mhm.
just any of them, they've got the card up there. If you click card next to GOAT so like they've all got different stats. These stats don't necessarily line up with rarity. So like people are trading based on rarity, they're trading based on utility and which ones are going to be better. They're trading off aesthetics. Like I was just going to ask if you had any like observations about how this stuff is traded, like how they interact between like rarity and the
Yeah.
actual stats.
A lot of people look for moves because there's certain moves that go well. We have so the background is tied to that core right there. So he's a hyper core because he has an aquamarine background, and so every card will be paired like that. But if you were to put an attack move that is the same color as the hyper move, it'll be aquamarine. In spot 1 or 2, you get what we have is called stab bonus, and it's a 15%, or no, it's not 15%. Sorry, it's 1.25x multiplier on every hit that you do with that move. So it's like a critical because you're pairing a core with a move that goes with that core. And so what I kind of tell people that get into it is like put one move that pairs with your core, and then put one move that goes good against something that has a critical against you, because out of the 8 factions, they all have 2 that they do criticals against, 2 that resist them, and then 3 that are neutral against them. And so you kind of want a move that is good against something that can really mess you up, but you also want moves that are good with your own core, so you can mess up the ones that you have criticals on, and so you can hit that combo layer of things. And the little icons next to the moves inside there is the charge time. Some people think that's like a 4-star move, but it's not. Like it's next to soft rug down there, G-Spot. If you're moving the little battery looking icon.
Soft rug.
Yeah, so that is that's the charge time. So you can charge up to 10 energy in a fight. That'd be 10 turns you could charge up, and then you could combo all your moves down if you wanted to and use all that energy, or you could just save up 3 and use it, and then use the base 2 moves to charge up again. And so we have people that, like, I'll give you an example. Raw Exploit is a trait. And what it does is, if you are not the 2 cores that resist Raw Exploit, it basically, whatever your defense level is, it treats it as level 1. It doesn't matter if you're level 20 defense or and so unless you're a Void or a Terra core, it hits you ridiculously hard. That's what that 158 was that we saw in that battle, was a Raw Exploit move. And so it's funny because Raw Exploit is one of the most common moves in the whole game. I think there's like 600 or 800 of them. But it's a $90 move on the market because it just wins battles. And yeah, seriously, I think there's like between the ETH collection and the Robinhood bridged collection, I think there's 3 listed in all 15,000 goats that we have. Like, so
it seems like it trades more like raw Yu-Gi-Oh or something, or raw Magic the Gathering than Pokemon, where people are assigning higher value to like the best moves and
G-Spot, pull that up. Or actually, hold on. He's not going to have anything. So sort rarest on the collection. So I think I was the first person to do this, but this is you can do that one. She's got a bunch in there. So this is our 1 of 1 Ethereum. He's like the leader of the hyper or the ether cult. But no, load the ledger. It'll load. Let it load. Takes a second. So this is, all of our goats have ERC 6551 wallets behind them. And what this is it's the viewer. So yeah, so scroll down. And so it shows all their stats. It shows their battle, like all their battle win-loss ratio. It shows how much is bonded to them in the 6551 wallet. So she has 62 million PR bonded to him. And she also has 3 million claimed that's vesting for her to withdraw. So if you're searching for a goat on the market, you can look in the ledger and be like, oh my God, it's $4 on OpenSea, but it has $60 in staking in it. Like, and you could just scoop it like right there. You can see exactly what they're holding, and you can see if they're a valuable asset that someone built up, you know? But yeah, that's just a 6551 viewer, and it does have the recent activity. I don't know why that's not loading, but yeah, that's just, I think I was the first person to put 6551 viewers in the
Oh,
iframe.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's
And so-
very cool.
Yeah, that's just a website. I mean, that whole what you're clicking right there is a website. So every NFT is a website.
Need to make a website for mine. Your post about the want to see 75 AI NFTs in All Out War, was that the same game mode that we just looked at?
Yeah, that was it. So
Gotcha. Then do you want to move on to like walk us through your site and some of the game modes that
Yeah.
you have?
hmm
Cool. Would you want to share screen on your end?
I'm on
Or,
I'm doing it on my iPad, so I don't know. I can't pull it up. But
Gotcha.
if GSpot goes, I can kind of tell them where to click. So if you click the two swords that are crossing on the training right there, oh, you don't have a wallet. Damn it.
You're I can
Do
try
you
to
have
share.
your-
Give me a
do you
second.
have
Let
yours?
Granny
Yeah.
share. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, my goats I haven't played in a week, and a lot of them are dead or like
Well,
that. They need to be
You can
recharged.
show
you
all
know?
that. So if they
right,
lose
hold
30
on.
battles in the fight caves, you got to pay exhaustion fee because they lose all their honor. They're not worthy of the cult, and so it's like a 5,000 PR sync that we do, and it just burns the currency. But significantly, it's burned a lot because a lot of people lost 30 battles. But so yeah, for sure.
As long as I don't have to clear cache or anything. Go where
No,
training?
Yeah, training. So in training, what this does is this allows you to take goats that you have, and you can steal up to 3 traits from any goat that you're more powerful than. So if you have a goat that's like a 15-15 and you want something from it, but you only have like an 8 and a 7 that you're trying to build up, then it probably won't beat it and you can't steal anything from it. But if you have a really powerful goat and you're trying to take those flame horns, for example, or you want his hyper background, you can just beat him up right here, and then it'll burn that NFT and take 3 traits from him. One of them, it applies directly, and 2, it puts in your wallet as ERC 115 in our inventory collection. And so it allows you to trade other traits in the collection. So it's like it burns a goat, but it keeps the traits kind of alive within the community, like because that's an active player. And if they burned, yeah, I think every single card has like 16 to 18 different traits on it, you know, and so that's a lot of different moving parts within the game that we didn't want to lose a whole bunch of. So we really just want supply of goats to go down, but cards and people to have ability to trade and level up as they want to. And so yeah, you got to restore honor to 13 of them. That's kind of pricey.
I know that's why that was my only problem with the screen share. I'm like, all my goats are dead. Oh no! But this is my favorite one here.
Oh yeah,
I think it is.
So
I might have one with higher attack.
But so look, so on that one, that's a good one to talk about. So that goat right there is a beautiful goat because he's a 15-7, but he has no attack moves. So all he can do is the base headbutt, which is a 5 every time. That's all it does. So
oh man, what have I done? I was
So
filtering by attack power when I was buying him, man.
So you gotta put the moves on them. You gotta burn some others and put moves on them, and actually build. It allows people to build up a Pokemon card or build up their goat, and add the cosmetics do nothing in the fight. The cosmetics is for you to create your cult, and then the card is for you to be good at the game, and that's where the stats come in.
I'm not good yet. That's my problem.
So yeah, like you were asking about trading though, like the cultist mask is the rarest trait in the game, and so there's a high floor for that one, and that's a cosmetic. There's some like the wraith fur. There's a couple other cosmetics in there that they have pretty high floor value, but they literally don't do anything. It's just demand for people that really want to collect that type of trait. And then on the opposite spectrum, there's the moves, and there's a whole, we got a Discord being built right now. We just have a X chat with like 200 people in it, but now people have kind of talked and they know strategies, and like, yeah, there's move like that locked liquid right there is like a $15 move. Like batch mode that one has on the top right from the second. That's a good move. Whale trap's a good move because it heals 10 and it hits for a 10 base damage. Like there's a lot of different strategy to it, and you can kind of choose like, oh, I want to be a healer, or I want to be straight attacker, like the Degen, which has that lime green background, they have no healing whatsoever. They literally they're like Degen, bro. They throw in on every single token and they don't care if they get rubbed. Like, so they're just that's all they do is hit hard. Like, but they don't have any defense. So
I love the themes and like that go behind the attacks. Like it's pretty cool.
appreciate it. I mean, this is eight months plus of testing and building with like a core group of probably 20 players that have, you know, tested and played this religiously for the last 8 months. And so we built a game on base called it was like Fuglies. I just drew up some really shitty art, and we made the game layer because we wanted to test it, but we didn't want to mess up the goats at the time. And so we tested the game layer, this like little 20-cent mint, and just to see if burning worked and if the fighting worked. And dude, people loved it, like the ability. And the only thing that we wanted was more moves, make it more in depth, you know. And so we did that, and we brought it to the goats, which has like all of these clothings have like 10 levels of like leveling up you can do on the art style of it too. And that's not even put in yet. That's in our phase 4, which is coming towards the end of the year. And so you'll actually be able to just complete battle challenges in the game, and then you'll be able to like level that mystic, like the wizard guy right there. He'll have progression of art, so you can make him look even doper than he looks right there if you want to stay as a wizard. And so like every single clothing piece has 10 levels of progression, and so you don't have to do all 10. You could get to the 6th one, which is actually like it creates a new name in the metadata, so you might be the only person that's gotten there. You might be the only person in the whole collection that has that unlocked, and until other people get there, and then they might go on past you, and you could just stay there. It's kind of like prestiging it and staying at 9th prestige because you like the logo, you know. It's like that's kind of what I brought into it, and so it's just where my heart is at, bro. I've been a massive gamer my whole life, and I wanted to make a game that was truly like a really cool blockchain play to earn, and it could get people in, and not just playing like by yourself, you know, in the middle of the night and there's no communication. Like you got to play with other people in this game, and there's certain challenges to get to your progression. You have to go 1v1 somebody in the actual public mode. You can't let your AI do it. Like I make people really communicate. There's a live chat right there on the bottom right, and you can just open it up. That's a site-wide chat. And so, yeah, it's just, oh yeah, all people complaining about the site not working, but so there's
This is very cool.
Yeah, it's been a lot, man, but it's been fun. I've learned so much through using like Claude and everything. I think my web development background has a lot to do with it, because like when people always ask like, man, how do you make websites with Claude? And you really have to step into like the wireframing of a website to talk to AIs. You can't just say like, oh, I want a website that does this. They don't know how to build that. You have to tell them like, I need them to open this page and it shows a display of cards that are, you know, rows of this. And then when they click it, it opens a module, and then it has the buttons for this. Like you have to give Claude those types of specifics. And if you can, he can build you anything, bro. Like it's crazy what it can build, and it can do it in a timely manner that a whole game team couldn't do, you know, in 6 months time. So it's really cool that I was able to build this through AI. I mean, this whole game is completely AI built on Claude, and it has like it's been audited. It has security parameters, and like it's safe, dude. It's a really cool play to earn that we've put a lot of time and heart into.
Hey, Reno, do you mind if sorry, I really didn't want to interrupt, right? But G-Spot made me do it. So remember how you said like if people didn't want to battle, they could like almost stake the goats. How do you do that?
It's not a button right now because I'm still kind of testing it, but it is live G-Spot. If you type in the URL, if you just put /Veil Keepers, VEIL Keepers.
Wait, at the end of the current URL?
At the end of the, well, you have to take off the slash and then just put goatcult.xyz. Oh, it's not G-Spot, my bad. It's you, Frankie. Yeah, so this is Veil Keepers, and I mean, it's essentially Pip-Boy's proof of work mining. And what it does, you pick your cultist that you want. You can open a table that costs the 0.004 base fee, and then you can put 16 in there, and you can open up to 4 tables if you want to. And then you can the spirits is the same exact thing. If you don't want to do it manually, you can put gas into the spirit, and the spirit just runs all the proof of work the whole time, and it earns. So what's cool though is what I did differently is Pip-Boys mines from emissions, right? So they're mining 65% of their token supply through proof of work. What the Veil Keepers are mining is 5% of all bets on King of the Hill. So every single time there's a King of the Hill lobby, 5% of the pot goes to the Veil Keepers. And so you can see right now they've accrued 2.5 or 2.25 million PR in their pool. And so that's actual work that people can do. And every single task you get is 888 PR. And so you can just sit there and do tasks all day long if you want to. And what you're doing is just repairing the games. You're finalizing the scores. You're doing the payment transaction. I mean, all of it runs autonomously on the back end, but it's verified now by someone else in the community on chain that there was an event that happened on our web server. So it has calls into it, and like literally every kill that happens in the game is verified through them too. So not the initial damage, but when one takes the other one out, it sends it to one of these goats to verify, hey, they got a kill. So all kills are recorded on chain so that no one can say like, oh, this game mode's a bust. Like they're not. It's not really randomization, you know. They have some logic or algorithm in there that these goats. No, it's literally random, and these goats are approving it. So,
and you can you can claim. Does it automatically go into like your wallet, or do you have to claim it?
If you have a spirit running, it goes into your wallet. It claims it for you.
And then you can use that exact same currency to then go into the King of Hill and fight yourself.
Exactly. Or you could go to, like, we have an AMM Anvil pool, and you could buy goats from the AMM Anvil pool. Like, you could do whatever. If you didn't know, you know, if you had a couple goats and you wanted a really powerful goat, or you saw one that you wanted to snipe from the pool, you could just do this and work and work and work, and then get 333. It's 333,000, and you can go buy a goat from the pool.
Oh.
And so you don't have to put any money in. You can earn through this entire game without putting a single cent in it. Like.
Well, can I just say I'll mute my mic after that? I just wanted to ask that because, like, can I just say this is so fucking cool, by the way. Like, I've been so engrossed watching this. I'm like, holy shit, I need to play this. By the way, I'm like, as soon as this is over, like, I'm jumping in this. This is awesome. But yeah, man, what you've built is incredible, bro. I just had to say that. Like, you know, this is really, really cool.
Thank you. And Frankie, go to the armory. So this is the armory.
Expose all my goats.
Yeah, you got some upgrades. So click them. Let's see them.
What do you mean? The glowing ones?
That are glowing, they got upgrades. Yeah. So if you scroll down, these guys have completed some battle challenges, and they can actually level up. Right there.
How do I level them up?
You just claim it. You got to pay the little pet rock.
I see.
And then you claim it, and you level them up. So this is going to increase you 1 attack level, and you can. Every goat has an anchor, so they can go up 5 from what they minted at. And if you like minted a 15, he can go to a 20. But if I level my 15 up to a 16 and then I burn the 16 over to a new goal, it's stuck because the anchor is capped basically. So refresh at that. Go back up, or go back to that page. Hit the refresh icon right in the top left corner of his card. No, not that one. Go back to roster.
Roster. Okay.
All of them. Yeah. See it hover in that little, that one. Boom. Now you're refreshed. So
gotcha.
He leveled up and his card's going to change. And you can do that to all of them. But here also, you don't have any traits either, Frankie. But if you had disassembled one, you would see all of your traits in your inventory in the right tab right there where that little fire icon is.
Right tab, fire icon.
Yeah. Look past the move.
Oh, here it is.
So that one will just burn any goat that you want, and it'll let you take 3 traits off of them, but it mints them as NFTs. So the way I kind of like when we were looking at training earlier, you get 1 trait for free off of goats that you can beat up. But if you can't beat a goat up and you just want to steal stuff, that's considered like skipping training, right? So you would get those traits, but then you got to pay the sync fees to enable those to enable them because you're skipping the actual game logic. Basically, it's like pay to earn or pay to win. Yeah.
buying a pre-leveled World of Warcraft character or something.
Yeah. And so that's how that works. But that allows you to literally like just swap any traits you want onto them and customize them. And I mean, dude, there's a lot to this whole website. Cover over the left tab. Let's see what else there is.
You can tell I'm not past the learning curve yet. That's why I'm losing all these battles. I'm missing a few of the traits and stuff.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
Whatever G spot. I'll goat you.
Your goats
a
are just
goat and
whack, dog. You gotta
battle.
get some better
Hold on.
goats, dog.
let's see.
Yeah, I
Go to rip packs. Do you got any packs or?
I might, but I'm not gonna
Oh,
rip
you do.
them.
Oh, you won't rip them.
I'm not ripping the packs. I'm saving
so-
them sealed, bro. I know
That's
how
the
this
other,
goes.
yeah, right. So this is the cool part about the other cool part, the initial cool part. This is a virtual trading card game. Like if you have to manually reveal every single goat in the collection. So if someone minted 100 and they died, we'll never know what they have. We'll never know what those goats have behind them because they haven't opened those packs. Like same as if you ripped a Pokemon pack. And so you have 2 packs right there, and on OpenSea they have their own floor price for packs. Like and
Mhm.
so it's cool. People can look at it and be like, oh, do I want to gamble on a pack or do I just want to spend money and buy the thing I really want? And so it just allows I have all different types of aspects of value within the collection, dude. Like it's just jam packed with value. But
Basically, I mean, you built like an economy here. Like it's very,
Mhm.
very cool. Can you tell us
Yeah.
about the fight caves? Because I know those are
Yeah.
pretty popular.
you don't have them deployed right now. But
No,
quick
I
sneak-
don't, because everybody's dead.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You could deploy from the altar.
I
Go to
don't
the,
have any PR. I don't have any PR is my problem. I gotta
Go to the-
swap
yeah.
some before I
so
can do
that's the
anything.
altar, and that's like our swap, and then trade is the AMM pool. Oh yeah, you got to raise the slippage down there to 5 probably. But yeah, and then like my cultist will show all your cultists, and that's where you
I'll
would
show it later.
oh man, whatever. But
There you go.
so yeah, you can like manage wallet there and pull that up so people could see what it does. So if you were getting started and you wanted to get into fight caves, you have to do this. So you would go here and it would tell you this cultist is not activated yet. You need to bond to enter, and it would show go to tier entry tab. So it would do that. So it would tell you to inscribe, and what that's going to do is it's going to burn half of your liquid bond and pair it to that goat for life. So then it's layer backed liquidity, or not liquidity, layer backed value. So if someone were to buy it from you later on, they would instantly be in whatever earning pool you put that goat in. Whatever squad they put that goat in would instantly jump to that earning tier that is inscribed on that goat. And so we added that last week, and it changes the cards to gold, purple, red, and green based on the pools. And then the OG is like blue if they're not activated yet. And so you can inscribe them, and then that puts half of it's liquid that you can take out. It's basically just saying like, I'm convicted to the game. I'm what I want to earn with the high rollers of the game, because we're all convicted, and we're basically just keeping our PR in our back pocket, and it's not somewhere where we can just sell it at any given moment, basically. Even though you could just unbond it and sell it within 3 seconds right now, but but then like vesting is when you get your rewards from the fight caves, which is a whole like the leaderboard is really cool too, Frankie. If you want to go over the leaderboard, like because it allows
on the side here.
yeah, leaderboard. And then so this is a live, the way we do these pools is every 8 minutes it tallies up all the games that are finished. And so every 3 minutes it pushes players that are searching into games. So every 3 minutes it pushes players that are searching for a game into the game, and every 8 minutes it will take the games that have finished and it'll put them in this pool. And so they're ranked on how much they stake, and then did they win or lose. And so if you are the highest staker in every pool, you're always number 1 because you have the highest stake for that earning pool. You have to win. If you lost, then you go to the losers. But if you stay winning those games, then you stay on top of the bracket until someone dethrones you as the highest staker in that pool. And so you might not get into you can only get 1 outcome every 8 minutes, but you can have 9 squads getting an outcome every 8 minutes. So it allows, like MJ, if you go to all time too, that's a really cool page. So this is sorted by GOAT. This isn't by user. So this is MJ's got the number 1 GOAT. It's almost got 7,000 dubs, and he's accrued 28 million PR in the fight caves, and he's won
He's got
2.1.
silver too.
Yeah, he's won 2.1 bars of tokenized silver, and so
Nice.
yeah, we've given out 29 bars of tokenized silver through emissions. That through trading, we would take 10% royalty on both collections, and then a 1% swap tax on the token, and then there's the 10%, 15% AMM pool fee also there. So all those fees buy silver and do buybacks on the token, and then I think we take 30% of the royalties on the NFT collection goes to the black market, which is essentially a strategy token like Punkster, where it buys the floor ones and then it burns them and just depletes them from supply, so that we don't have like floor stacking up from bots and stuff. But yeah, you can see like that's one earner with 4 different goats, and she's got the top 10 spots on the leaderboard because they're all just badass goats. Like,
Jay Vegas is in here with a bunch of
yeah,
spots too.
Stewo's in there. He's been getting up on the leaderboard.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to step up my goat game.
Dong Sock
For
is
sure.
getting into it a lot. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff in there. But yeah, that's how they earn, and you can just play. I mean, and they're not even playing. I mean, they're just deploying. They wake up, they deploy, come back, claim their winnings, deploy again. But yeah, the way it's the way the economy is a fee loop is that everything supports itself. So if we just continue building new players in and bringing new players in that initial entry price they pay, where they have to buy the PR to bond, and then they have to buy a goat, and that's the little fees here and a little fees there, and it buys a little silver for someone else, and it, and it maybe buys a goat off the floor and burns it from supply, so then our supply is less, and everything just, if the game goes on an upward path, it can't stop, unless, like, the only way is if players stop playing, basically, that it goes down. And so the one thing that I kind of learned in the last 2 weeks since we released it is that we were giving out like too much emissions without burning a lot of the token supply. And so we're kind of falling again into the Pip-Boy cycle, where people are just insta selling all their winnings and the token price just like falls continuously. There's not really anything you can do, because there's not really any need to buy it if you're winning it, And so that's why we put in the fight caves, or not the fight caves, the King of the Hill, because King of the Hill burns 5% of all pots also. And so if those games are just filled like constantly, like, which right now they're not, but if we got players where, there's all 9 of those things are going, they start every 10 minutes. If there's pots going, that's a lot of supply a day. I did like some simulations where if there was just 10 players in each game mode every single time throughout the day, it would burn like almost 3 million in currency a day, like just sitting there doing that. So it's really cool. Maybe not 3 million, maybe 30 million, I think is what the estimate was, but because it's almost 3 million a cycle. And so it's just cool to see, like, get feedback from the players, because it's just constantly growing. Like, there is no end state to it. It's not like, hey, this is the game, deal with it. It's like I put stuff out and people give feedback, and I'm like, okay, I gotta change that, like, tonight, it's gotta be updated, and so I'll do it because I got anything else better to do, like. And it's been fun, dude. Like, I play the game, I don't take any dev share really. I have 1% on the ETH collection, and the rest of it I just cycle it all back to the collection to let it just fruition, bro. I just want it to be its own little cloud of economy,
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off here, but we got a hard cap at 2 hours on the show, so just about a minute left. I had 2 questions if we get to it, but one thing is, you teased in a comment to Adam Weitzman that he might be interested in the GOAT called after your appearance on the show. Do you have any message you want to say to him?
No, I'll let him determine that for himself, man. I'm not gonna tell a man what to buy, but it'd be nice to have him.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, me and him DM back and forth a lot, but he's just never bought one of my projects. I don't know how people get it. That's so easy sometimes. So it's all right though. I live on. I got a great community that supported me for 3 years now, and ongoing, and it's our little faction. So I'm honored to have them, because I'm a one-man artist dev team, and so I wouldn't be able to do the rest of that without my holders. Whatever this came into.
All right. Well, we got 15 seconds, so I got to wrap up. But thank you guys so much for joining. Pillow, Rito, it's been great talking to you, and I love both of your projects. Thanks again.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all both coming up, dude. It's good to hear people excited about what they're working on. I can tell both of y'all are super jacked. And Rito, happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is. I see your streamers back there, dogs.
Daughter turned 3 last weekend, so
Awesome, man. Congratulations, bro. Y'all have a blessed one, man. And I hope to see y'all back through, and I'll be peeping into what y'all got going on.
Sure.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me, guys. And Rito, it was great to meet you, and what
Yeah.
you're building's awesome, bro. I'm gonna get involved in that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get involved in the other side stuff with you too. So you'll see me in there. I'll be running around with my red goat cultist.
Yeah.
All right. Later, guys.
Y'all
Thank
take
you.
it easy.
Later, guys.
ネオンのジャングル夜を飛び越えて画面の向こうから叫びがバズってるグライミーフランキー歯を見せて笑うGスポットは指先でチャートを切り裂くスマホの光が瞳に火をつけて今夜も始まるよ猿たちの配信準備はいいかって世界に投げてコインの波間を一緒に泳ぐんだアピアピぶち上げるライブジャンプジャンプ月まで届け